Hello, Andrew here again, and this is what I've decided to call the Catherine door. Now, most doors close all the way around, but this one is a door in a little bit more of a practical way. Mobs cannot get in from the outside because even spiders get stuck in the gap below, and nothing else can jump over it. And to open it, just hit the button. It opens fast enough for you to just go right up the stairs. Now this is a nice door because from the inside you can jump out without opening the door and still not let any mobs in. So I'm just going to go over really quick how this works and how to make it. Okay, I've reconstructed the bottom portion of the door here just to show how it can fit with the buttons and everything in a pretty nice area. And the circuit itself is 4 blocks wide, 5 blocks tall, and 6 blocks deep. So it's pretty easy to fit into a small area, and if you want to run the buttons, you can run them right alongside the pistons here with no issues. So this is the most stable version that I've made, and every time you hit the button it just changes the position. So the nice thing about this particular design is that no matter how messed up the stairs get, as long as they're in the right position, as long as they're still in the same line, this will fix them. So this one is not sensitive to block updates, meaning you can mess with the blocks all around the pistons without causing issues, and it's probably the easiest one to understand. Okay, to make this first design you just want to put your pistons down where you want the door to be. So just 2 sets of pistons stacked on top of each other, and behind the stairs it's 4 blocks back. Replace the support block if you want to do this easier, and it's 9 pistons total to control the door. So just get rid of the support blocks, and underneath the double pistons here just need to run the dust along here, repeaters off of that, and then going into the torch towers here. So just repeater, torch, and another torch. And if the pistons get pushed up like that, you can just break and replace the torch and they'll go back where they should go. So you need blocks on top of all 3 of these torches, and coming alongside of the far torch on the side here, just going to go 3 blocks along, repeater on 2 ticks, and the hopper set up here, which is the flip-flop, which keeps track of where the stairs are supposed to be. So dust on the right topper and the block on the left one. And we're going to have a comparator coming out of that, pointing towards the middle, and then right along the back of the pistons here, just a line of dust hooked up to the comparator here. And in the left hopper, just put 1 unstackable item, like a minecart, a sword, or anything like that. Now that's the main part of the circuit. And for the pulse limiter, you can use any pulse limiter you like, really. I just used this particular one because it fits quite nicely within the 4x5x6 area. So you just want to have a 3-tick pulse limiter, so 3-tick repeater here, piston in the ground facing up, and a block on it. and coming up from there, the block behind the repeater and over it, dust here, and then the torch to control these 3 horizontal pistons. So just need a torch and then dust on the sides of the block it's going into. And the last part you need is the blocks in front of those pistons and the stairs themselves. So that's the whole door here. It's quite easy to build, and these blocks can be any solid block. Works just like it should. Now this design isn't quite as small as it can get, but it is the most stable one. So if you just want to build it and not have to think about it again, this is probably your best bet. But if you're comfortable with a slightly more complex door, the next one is definitely better. Now this is the fastest, smallest design I could come up with, and it's also the simplest one, I'd say. And just to give you an idea, that's pretty much the fastest it can possibly get. This one has a lot of the same features as the other one. For example, if you have the stairs staggered for any reason, it still fixes them within 2 button presses on this one though, because if you have the stairs down and they're supposed to be up, it has to go through more than 1 cycle to fix them. But otherwise it's just as reliable, and the only issue you would have with this one is that if these pistons get a block update while the door is open, the whole thing breaks. So that's generally not going to be an issue, because you're going to have blocks going across here for the hallway anyways. So as long as you're not digging into the floor, this is quite a nice design. And if it does break like that, you want to make sure that all of these comparators are off so that you can put the pistons back where they belong. So just put them back like that, not a big deal. This design can be stacked just about as many times as you like without too much trouble, because every segment of it is identical except the pulse limiter. So in case you can't see it well enough from the side here, I'm just going to build a slice on the side here. It's pretty simple to build, but just in case you can see the slice alone here. So it runs on the same idea as the other door, except it has a few more tricks to make the wiring a little more compact. So that's pretty much all there is to the slice. You just want to make sure you put 1 item in the hopper, and it'll bounce back and forth until you hook up the pulse limiter. So that's all there is to the slice. Of course you're going to need the stairs on top here, but you can put that in whenever you like. And just to show how it works when if you want to stack it, I'm just going to copy the 1 slice here, and paste it on the side here. So obviously this is a lot easier with World Edit, but it's not too bad if you have to do it on your own as well. Now I'm just going to stack it 10 times just as an example. Now that is a lot of stairs, and you're probably never going to need it this wide, but however wide you want it, this will work. So if you want it to be as compact as possible, it will work just with an inverted button like this. So, but I prefer to use the pulse limiter because it makes it about twice as fast. And the pulse limiter is not that bad, it's just torch on the side like that. Repeater going in over here at 3 ticks. And a button on this block. So before this will work, we're going to need an item in every single one of these hoppers on this side. So just to make it easier, I'm just going to use this block. It doesn't have to be unstackable, it can be any block you like. I'm going to put one in each. And from there, all you have to do is hit the button and it will work. Almost there. This is probably the hardest part about building the whole thing, is putting the items in the hoppers. Because you want to put them in this side. If you put them in the other side, you'll have a lot of cleanup to do. Realigning the pistons and everything. So, just hit the button. And everything works. It's quite easy to make this however big you want it. And I kept it at 3 because that's all I really need for the doorways, but you can go as crazy as you want with this one and it still works quite reliably. And it actually goes so fast that you can run it on a 3-tick clock. It's actually 6 ticks because it only fires once every other loop. But it hasn't broken yet, and the only way that it manages to break is if these pistons get a block update at the wrong time. Not bad for how simple it is, I'd say. And just as a reference, you can take out this pulse limiter, and if you just put the torch with a button, the entire circuit fits into a 3x4x6 area. So this is probably as small as it's going to get for this kind of a door. This does make it a fair bit slower, so I wouldn't really do this unless you're really concerned about the size. And considering the pulse limiter only adds 1 block to the length, I think it's a pretty good trade. Now this is actually a 2-tick pulse limiter. And that's all there is to this door.